Limafish here. We're gonna get
Yeah, it'll be here one day.
today uh, with the new heroes, and he's did a bunch of testing, and he's gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna talk to Whistle tomorrow. So, Lima, go ahead.
Hey, I was told to back it up real quick and explain the testing. Um, just a quick overview of it. Don't do Warzone for testing. Warzone is whack in every way. Um, like there are so many reasons why somebody with 1700% stats shouldn't be beating 2300% stat lines. So Warzone's whack. Um, but easiest and best way is probably to go contact a friend and a tile. Set it up on a tile and have that get hits traded back and forth. Um, I personally don't run test batches under about 10 hits because I want to be able to do 5 and 5 of each way to eliminate variance to a decent extent. But in terms of the new hero, Kotiya, I think's how you say her name.
Yeah, I have a question. Can I ask a question real quick?
What's up?
You said tiles. Do you ever use towers? Because I know towers don't cost any VIT, and I've been seeing that a lot recently. Do you recommend using towers to test?
I mean, so if you can grab a mech to do that, usually, that'd be awesome. I know, like, there's not usually a whole lot to spend VIT on, especially as you get towards the like end of events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, if you can use a tower, go ahead. I personally enjoy tiles so that way I don't have to involve a third person because that's just like, hey, now I have to wait for this person to get a tower up.
Well, you just need a best friend that's an MM like me. If only
I
we were
mean,
on the same server.
the part that I find incredibly stupid on my end is I have an alt that's a mech and I still don't do that.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Yeah, because tiles too, we've been using that a lot, the towers anyways for KE points to get those basic points without having to get the um well one use vet, but there's the where it punishes you for hitting people's tiles.
Uh, yeah, how it increases the cost of it.
Yeah. So anyways,
Spent like
okay.
10 VIT caps today.
The new hero is Kai- Coyote. How you say her name? How are you saying
Uh,
it?
I thought it was Katia.
Katya. Okay. I like it.
Oh, so, I mean, the first. What's up?
Oh, I didn't say anything. You're good.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody else say something.
Oh, probably my daughter in the background.
Oh, righto. The thing I found with Katia is first thing you got to learn with the hero is looking at the trigger rate of said hero. And she falls within the average of what most trigger heroes are doing at around 30%. So that whole chance, you're looking at about a 30% chance, which is the same as heroes like pretty much any of them. You're looking at Nareed, Shinji. Actually, Shinji's a little bit higher. I think he's at 35%. But, you know, Nareed, Max, all these guys that are your normal trigger heroes. Sprasis has a little bit higher, like 32%. But either way, she's average in terms of her trigger rate. Outside of that, though, her trigger is fairly powerful. When it stops two heroes, since we're specifically looking at Navy here, because she's a Navy hero, it's pretty valuable because you get to have a good chance at stopping Max. And there is a chance you can silence. Let's going to look at the meta in Air Force. It's typically Shinji, Maximo, and Selena.
Mhm.
And being able to silence either Shinji or Max, or even both of them, is incredible because they're two of the best heroes in the game, at least in my opinion. The amount of damage they output per trigger is just insane. So her trigger is pretty powerful in that regard. She's about on par with Bylos at her base buff level, I guess, for lack of a better term. But with exclusive, it is higher, I believe. Give me just 1 second. I'm double checking. Yeah, so with exclusive, it's on par with Nemo,
So are
which
you
is
talking exclusive level 5 or level 7? And what's kind of the difference that you're seeing there for those middle level players that, like me, I'm not spending a lot. So usually, if I'm going for a hero for my main March, we're only an exclusive level 5 versus a level 7.
so most of the time I talk in level 5s, just because that's what the common player is going to get most of the time. Even some of the higher-ish spending players will often avoid the level 7s due to the fact that they rotate out with heroes.
Okay.
So that's typically what I refer to. But in this case, in my opinion, Katya is better than both Nemo and Bylos, which are your two buffing heroes in Navy, when it comes to her ES5. At ES7, I would say Nemo is probably still better, and that's just due to the fact that that 80% damage increase on his 7 for the next 3 hits is so insane.
And when you say ES, you mean exclusive?
Yeah, it means exclusive skill.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Help asking those questions.
I speak in a lot of terminology, so if it doesn't make sense, absolutely stop me and ask.
That's the first time I've heard that term, so I definitely wanted to clarify it while you were speaking. So very cool. So overall, it sounds like she's a really great hero for Navy then.
Yep. She's on par with the stat buff. Actually, she's better on the stat buffing than Nemo is, as well as Bylos, and her trigger, well, albeit less reliable than Nemo's, it is still strong in regards to that, while she also applies that shield buff. It's hard to beat.
Awesome. That's exciting. I know Navy's been wanting another hero, so well, they want a Maximo.
Another good.
She's not Maximo, right? But she is good.
Oh, I mean, she can stop Maximo, hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. I'm not playing, so it's okay. I mean, boats are mean anyway. So,
Boats are great. I love boats.
as I say, you're Navy, aren't you?
Yep, I'm Navy main, Air Force second.
There you go. I'm Army main, obviously, and then Air Force second. Although I don't really have my second build up yet. Getting there. What
Heck yeah.
about we've had a couple mutants released since the new year. I can't remember. Do you remember who was before Edward?
Since the new year?
Uh, before the new year. Before today.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh my. I was like, do I need to catch up on something?
So, I'm sure there'll be a couple more once we've really gotten into the new year. But no, I can't remember who was before Edward.
The one before, because Edward was the most recent. The one before that was. Give me 1 second. I'm looking down the description.
Okay.
Bellevue.
Was it?
Yep, it was Bellevue.
Oh, Bellevue. Okay. Was there another who was who was before Bellevue?
Alex?
Alex, gosh, we haven't talked about mutant heroes in a while either. Because I don't think we've talked about Alex. I know we haven't talked about Bellevue.
I know there's only like two good ones.
There's two good ones.
Yeah. There's not really any others, unfortunately, that I've seen so far.
I know I haven't. I mean, I was excited when they first came out, but they've really not been. Woo! They've kind of been like the events these last couple of events.
Yes. Although I am excited today, this New Year's event, even though it's a spending event, it got me I got me a gold blueprint and a purple chest and a couple mats, and I was like, yes, another gold blueprint for $5. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I might get something decent. My pools haven't been super great, but hopefully
Uh,
we'll get something.
Worth noting, if you smash all 3 egg sets, and at the end you still don't get what you want, you get to pick one square,
Yeah,
and you get
but
that.
you have to hope that your squares are good too, though.
Yeah, that is true. But typically, there's like one item that's pretty good. I mean, even in the worst case scenario, if you grab a skin you already have, it's 20,000 gems.
Oh, I didn't. That's cool. Although I didn't get the base skin that I got on my pool is I don't know, it's some building. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got like a gathering buff to it. 5%.
Are you talking about like Halloween Castle or?
Oh, it's like this pavilion thing.
Hold on. I can just pull it up because it tells us what all the available ones are.
I could. I'm letting you do all that work right
It takes me 10 seconds.
now instead of flipping screens. Yeah.
The Golden Pavilion. Okay.
Yeah, that was mine. And then I did get my decor wasn't too bad. It was the turkey, so it had an extra march +1 march or something like that. So neither of them are horrible, but they're not like, one of those ones that are.
I saw a server mate of mine. He flipped 3 skins on his thingy, and so he's hoping to get the skin one.
He flipped 3 skins.
Yeah, I was like,
Holy,
what?
that's
And
awesome.
he has all 3 of the skins, so he's like, he just wants the 60,000 gems. I'm like, all right, bud.
Don't blame him there either. Yeah, this last event was the base defense was pretty awful. I'm not gonna.
So wait, the base defense itself was awful?
Did you play it this morning?
Did I what?
Did you play it this morning?
I mean, I was asleep, but it just happened, and so nothing really changed or I didn't do anything special for it.
Yeah. It like the last level was just 80 level for the base. So I mean it was for like our third alliance that the players aren't level 80. But I felt bad for them because I kind of assumed that it was going to be maybe a little bit harder than it was. And I really could have stayed with the little guys and helped them in that alliance rather than switching alliances to try to make sure that I got to the end. So that kind of sucked. It wasn't challenging. You retreated battle report.
I mean, even though it was weaker, I think that really benefited a lot of the free-to-play players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the not knowing kind of sucks because we could have helped. Like our free to play players, a lot of them didn't get the last round because all of us thought, oh, it's gonna be harder than it was.
Wait, they didn't what?
Like some of our players didn't make the last round. Part of that was because, as bigs, we thought it was going to be harder, so we weren't sitting beside them and giving them our buffs and making towers for them. We were on a different alliance, like our training alliance, where all our little players are. And we could have been there had we known it was going to be nothing.
I was like, I forget, you're up in a server where it's really, there are people that are below level 80.
Yeah, we have a decent amount below level 80.
Yeah, I'd say pretty much once you hit 80, I don't know of a single 80 that probably couldn't take every single wave, and so that's why I was like,
But some of the bigger players, one of them made a great point on the fact that it would have been kind of cool had it just kept going until everyone was defeated, see how high you could go. I don't know, just make it fun for all levels, I guess, as opposed to or challenging for all levels to see how far they could get, as opposed to.
I mean, at that point, what would they do for the rewards, though?
Listen, it's not like any of them were super grand. They give out sucky rewards all the time. Just give out more sucky rewards.
You gave out 12 shards. Yes, I was happy about that.
I mean, I'm not one of those players that get upset over tech chests, though. Like, because all I do is I take them and then I use them in the time recycling to get the training speed ups and stuff. So
we get tech chests from freaking hitting Dark Force. Like, I don't want those ever.
I mean, I get that you don't want them, but I'm just saying if that was my option so that we could keep playing, I will take tech chests.
Oh. True. Yeah, that makes sense.
If that was the trade-off, here we'll let you keep playing until you die. Here's some extra tech chests for when you get to time limited recycling. I will be the only player not complaining and being like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, true. I wouldn't complain about that either. Because, like, you get enough of them and it matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Well, that's why for the bonfire thing, I kept telling players then too, hey, like the top amount that you can trade in is 8,800 and I think 50. And then you clear out the whole store. And I was like that's you should do that. If you have that many, do it. Because even if it's just R&D and the tech chests, your trees give you absolutely nothing. They're worth nothing. So
yes,
if those tech chests and the R&D, you can at least like time limited recycling comes around every what is it every month or every 2 months, 3 months?
it's every month.
Every month. So yeah, I mean you're bound to at least turn those into speed ups that you're going to need for EL and stuff.
Or power cores, if you're there.
You should always be collecting power cores.
That stuff is so much of a pain to get at these levels.
I know. I have 30. I don't need it yet, but I have 30 saved up.
You will get your first and second level, and that's it with that. So you'll have 4 morale.
Yeah. As soon as I could start collecting power cores, I started. Like anytime they come available, I'm all about it. So is there anything else we should know about this hero, or who was the 2 mutants that you said were good? And you said there's like 2 mutants that were worth.
For some reason, Merida is unreasonably good compared to the rest of the mutants, which she is just better in every way. And then the second best is, I think it was Tywin. He looks like a rooster.
Some people like him, but I didn't like his new hair.
I mean, his new hair is not great, but he is better than Bradley at ES7.
At what?
At Exclusive 7.
Oh, okay.
Like, Tywin at 7 is better than Bradley at 7.
Okay. And then you definitely want to use Tywin and set up his hero skills with page 1 with your gathering, and then page 2 with his attack stuff, because you are going to have to constantly make him unmutant and mutant if you're using him as gathering.
Yep. That is correct. Yeah.